Hey everybody, got another simple component that you can make using Gutenberg blocks. This is something that's pretty common, it's a pop-up. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is grab a group block. This will be the outer layer. This is what's going to have the overlay that fills up the entire screen. Then inside of that group, we're going to add another group, and this will be what actually holds the pop-up data. So we'll add some text. Hey, this is a pop-up. Awesome. And then below the entire thing, we'll add a button. This is just going to be the trigger that pops the pop-up. This pops it. Pop-ups it. Great. Now these are all the blocks we're going to need in order to accomplish this component. Next, we'll add some helper classes right here. So first things first, we have our outer layer, so we'll just call this pop-up section. And then on the inside, you don't technically have to add a class here because you could just target it using the outer class. But in this case, we'll just make it easier. So it'll be pop-up content. And then we'll add some class to the actual button. And this is just going to be for us to target the pop-up on click. And this is going to be the pop-up button. Great. Now you can also add a close button inside of the pop-up to close it, but for now we're just going to show this. Now my button, just because of my theme styling, needs a background color. We'll just make it black. Okay. Perfect. So now we have this. This is the pop-up. This is the trigger for the pop-up. And let's add some styles. First things first, we'll add the pop-up section. Inside that, we have the pop-up content. For the pop-up section container, we're going to do position fixed, because we want this to scroll with the page. We'll add a top 0. We'll add a left 0. Let's also update the Z index, just in case you have other things on your site. We'll just make it as top dog. And then make the width 100%. And we'll do height. There's different ways to do the height. I like to do 100 vertical height. And let's add a background color. Now I'm lazy, so I just do black, and then I use my IDE color picker and I just lower the opacity. So we'll do something like that. All right, and now in the actual content, we're gonna do this. We're gonna add a max width of 500 pixels, but we're gonna give it a width of 100%. This way, as it goes down, it'll be mobile friendly, because once it gets to 500 pixels, it can start getting smaller with the screen. And we'll also add a margin around it so that it has some space in between it. Actually, let's just add a padding to this. And we'll do like 1 rem. So that should follow it. Okay. And that will need to be position absolute. We're going to center the whole modal in the container. So we got the position absolute. We'll do top 50%, and we'll also do left 50%. And then using our little centering trick, we'll do transform, translate, and we'll do transform, translate, and we'll do negative 50%, negative 50%, and that should center the box completely. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, we also need to make this entire thing hidden by default. So we'll go display, none. Great. And then we'll add our handy dandy engage flag class. And all that'll do is make the entire thing show. Go ahead and compile this. So that should handle the styling for this. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like on the front end. It's gone. Perfect. Let's go ahead and test the styling. We'll jump into here. We will go to the pop-up section. We'll add our engage flag. And there you go. We got it. Now, I just noticed that this doesn't really, you can't see the content. So let's go ahead and add some styling to the actual content itself. And by that, I just mean a background color of white. Perfect. And we'll add some padding inside as well, so it has some space to breathe. Let's do 2 rem. And let's make it look a little better and add some border radius. Do like 6 pixels. Should be good enough. So let's recheck that. Add our engage class. Alright, there we go. Look, looks like a pop-up. So, now that this is all styled and ready to go, all we have to do is add the JavaScript. So we'll jump in here. Speaking of pop-up, look what just popped up. Orbem and Myropelia, the first 2 books in the Harmonian Chronicles. You can get your own copies right now on Amazon. It's a sci-fi fantasy crossover novel. Just look up Orbem or the Harmonian Chronicles. There'll be links in the description for all of that. And if you need more information, I also do live streams, make music, and do a whole lot of other things, which you can find at orbemorder.com. Or catch me live. I stream nightly, and then you can hit me up at orbem.live, or see me on YouTube. I do live stream on YouTube as well. So thanks so much for your time. Now let's grab all of the pop-up buttons and add a click event to them to trigger our pop-up. So we're going to do const pop-up buttons, and we're going to look for all of them using document query selector all, and we're going to look for pop-up button. Check if that exists, if there are any on the page. If there are, let's go ahead and loop through them and grab the singular variable. Now we'll add a click event. Pop-up button, add event listener. Always listening. We'll add a click. Awesome. So let's go ahead and add, let's target the pop-up itself. So pop-up. Go ahead and target the pop-up section. Alright. If it exists, we will go ahead and toggle the class engage. Class list toggle and engage. Great. So now when you click the pop-up button, it will make the pop-up show. So now let's add a click event to the pop-up section itself so that when you click on the pop-up, it closes it. So we'll do close pop-up, and we'll take the pop-up. We'll add event listener just like we did for the button. And we'll do click. And when you click, we'll go ahead and just take the pop-up, class list, and we'll remove the engage class. Yeah. So technically you don't need to do toggle. And this would be if you styled the pop-up differently, where you can open it and close it with the button, but we can leave that for now. Because either way, when you click on it, it'll remove. So now that we have the JavaScript all compiled, let's give it a shot. Click on this button, and we have a pop-up. And if you click on it, it closes. Fantastic. So let's make a little bit of an adjustment. Now you notice that I looped through all the buttons, but there is nothing really tying the button to the actual section. So technically this will only open one section on a page for all the buttons. So what we can do to combat that is make an additional group. So let's add another group. And then to this third group, let's add the button. So now what we'll have here is a pop-up container. And now you can have as many pop-up containers as you want, and they will have individual buttons and pop-ups. So to do that, we just add another wrapper here. So we'll do const pop-up containers, and that is document.query selector pop-up container. And if that exists, let's do a for each. We'll get the singular. And then we can just place everything inside of there. And what we'll do instead of using document is we'll use the pop-up container itself. So we'll do pop-up container. So this can have as many buttons as it wants. It'll loop through them. And the pop-up section will be inside the pop-up container as well. I spelled container wrong. Don't forget to do all. All right, now let's check if that works. And it works. So now what we can do here is duplicate this. This is another pop-up. This pops another it, whatever. And now you'll see each one will pop up a different pop-up. You can have as many of these on the page as you want. And you can put anything you want inside here too. It can be an image. And you'll see here, image shows up fine. And now there's obviously different variations you can do with this. You can add a close button, you can add a click out event. You don't have to have any background itself, but all deriving from a few group blocks and a button. And the button can be anything too you add a link to. It can be an image, or add the class to. It can be an image, it can be just a link. And yeah, there's a lot of variations you can do with this, but it's as simple as that. Thanks so much for your time, and I hope you have a great day.